Happy Happy Wednesday, Captain Caveman here. Auntie Billy's still calling me Captain Caveman. One of these days I'll get a haircut and shave, but not today. Back to the VTH today. I'm filling in for one of my two associates. Has things to do, so I did yesterday, today, and again tomorrow on Thursday. And didn't really have any content, you know. So I thought, am I going to have to go back in the kitchen, get some more spices, and do a comparison again? Even though that went over well with my 15, yes, 15, but I'm not bragging. Loyal, faithful, loving, trusting, devoted Uncle Brian groupies. I did the salt comparison and the pepper comparison. Remember that? How could you forget? It was epic. And then I had that issue with a broken water line in my basement. Cold water line running up to the kitchen. It made a fucking mess in there. Fortunately, nothing of any real value got ruined. What got thrown out, it probably should have been thrown out already, long ago. And a lot of things in the boxes were actually okay. It's just the boxes themselves are all soggy and nasty, and I had to throw the boxes out. And this, anyway, it turned out okay in the end. So I did a video, went up to home. I showed the broken line. What was going on. I went to Home Depot and got a new shut off. And a couple fittings and a pressure fitting and another section of line. Part of the section running up to the bend fall coming up didn't look too good. I said, I'm going to replace the whole thing from where it comes down. I'll replace the whole thing. So I might as well do it now. So that's what I did. And at the time, my main concern was fixing it, not trying to diagnose it. You know what I mean? That was the least of my worries. My worry was, I got to turn this water back on. I can't do it like this, And I remember I showed you the valve, and it was staring me right in the fucking face. It was staring me right in the fucking face. But I just didn't care to think about it. All I cared about was fixing it. Someone asked me a question a couple of days later. They say, Brian, how's your water there? Do you have hard water? I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, we do. We get a lot of calcium, build up in deposits in lines, around here. And I went, wait a minute. I went downstairs. I grabbed the old broken valve that's on the table. What are you looking at? See all that white? That's all calcium. See how restricted that opening is? And this is where the water was going in, coming out, going up to the kitchen. In fact, this shutoff is frozen. So much buildup in there, it's frozen. For the ball check. This opening should be all that. That's the male threaded fitting inside there with a thick crust like that of calcium all around it, restricting it by a good 40% of the opening for the flow. And I went, son of a bitch, that's why it broke. The water can do a lot of damage. Look at the Grand Canyon. That was carved out by water over, millions of years. Water can do a lot of damage, just running water. When you add restriction to a normal flow of water, now it increases the volumetric flow. Like with a garden hose. Put no nozzle on the end, turn on the water. It comes out in a steady flow, kind of thick. Put a nozzle on the end and now you hold that back pressure, and now through a smaller opening it really shoots out. Oh, that was doing the same effect in here. The more this thing got restricted with a calcium buildup, the more the water flow pressure increased. And inside this fitting here, it was getting the back pressure right at the ball check. So as we didn't really notice any more force coming out from the cold water faucet up here. It seemed about the same. And then again, I never measured it, really paid attention. Is it flowing more now than before? Things you just use every day, you don't really think about it, And I guess that back pressure that was being built up in here over, I have to assume a long period of time was enough to snap that fucking fitting inside there. So, mystery solved. Why it broke. It's obvious. And I'm looking right at all this white calcium buildup. I'm looking at all this fucking restriction, but I took it, I looked at it, snapped inside, I put it down, and it was out of sight, out of mind. I was just focused on fixing the fucking thing, you know what I mean? When someone mentioned that to me, how's your water? You have hard water? Yeah, we got a lot of calcium, and that's when the light went off. So that's what caused the cold water line to break. A severe calcium deposit buildup, restricting the flow of water, increasing the pressure to it, increasing the back pressure, especially leading into the fitting that caused that male threaded end to snap inside the female threaded end of the shutoff valve. Now I gotta get going to the VTH. It was either this or I was gonna have to. I did salt, did pepper. I got some real cool Portuguese spices there for when I make Portuguese food. Good thing I didn't have to use that up today. I'll keep that on the back burner for another day when I don't have any content, you know what I'm saying? It's either this or I could have gone around and tried to pull a car out of the woods, see if I can get it to run and drive it around the block, you know what I'm saying? That's just be a popular, trendy thing around here these days. But anyway, nah, even Uncle Brian can't lower himself to those standards. Have a great Wednesday. I got to get to the VTH. Have fun, stay safe. Catch up with you again this week.